You just put me in a tight corner to go all technical about it. I'll do exactly so. Um, Madam Jane Mensah raised, I think, two major issues, but the bottom line is there's the possibility of losing data when you try to migrate um, to a new system. First of all, Senna, she said the operating system and the migration is what will lead to the loss of data. That is not true. That is never true. Senna, imagine you've purchased a new infrastructure or a new equipment. All you need to do is that whatever operating system or software that is required, all you just have to install it on that new system. Do you get the analogy here? You just put in the software and you install it on your new infrastructure. That is one part. You don't lose any data because the data already exists somewhere. Now, the second phase of which she's talking about, data migration, I'll put it as, I mean, security. Okay, she's not coming too clear. If you want to go by what she's saying, all that you would say is that she's just ignorant of what she's talking about. It's like, let me take it this angle. If you are doing data migration, the major thing you want to consider is security, of which, yes, when you lose your data in the process, it will be, it will be useless. Now, where is the current data and where are you moving it from? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Where are you moving it from? If you're not concerned about it being hacked because from the source to a different destination, then you have no case. It is extremely, I mean, unacceptable for you to say that the IT team in Ghana cannot carry out a successful migration. It just doesn't make sense. It's a basic thing that most IT personnel should be able to carry out a system migration. So in what line is she talking about that you are going to lose the data? How? Let her explain where she thinks that the data will be lost.
So,
Is it through the internet or locally?
so,
Where is she coming from?
the key questions you like her to answer. So, take us to the key questions you would like her to answer on the issue of losing data, in order to convince
Okay.
you.
Okay. The first question I would want to ask Madam Jane Mensah is that the operating system that you are currently using, purchasing new equipment, won't the new equipment be compatible to the operating system that you currently have? That is one. Is it so customized to this particular system that you have that no other equipment in this world will be compatible to it? Is that what she's saying? Fair enough. Let's grant her that weird, stretch of an argument that the operating system will not be compatible to the new system that they would want to purchase. The other thing is, when you purchase the new system, you will have at the back of your mind the requirement, okay, the requirement of the software that will meet the hardware. Therefore, if you have you buy the hardware, you will definitely know the software to purchase. How would a purchase of a software and installation of a software on a new system impact or let you lose the data? Thirdly, if you are doing data migration, where are you doing the data migration from? Are you going through the cloud from one source to another destination elsewhere? And for that matter, you are scared that maybe some hackers will, hack the system and change the data? Is it that because you have a weaker link and the quantum of data is so huge that the data cannot, travel on that link, and therefore in the process it will cut and you will lose some data? Is it that your IT team that you have do not understand that when you have a huge quantum of data running on a weaker link, you have to break the packets down and do it little by little? Is she saying that the IT team she has doesn't know that you can clone the service so that, for example, the infrastructure that you have currently, you can virtually clone it elsewhere, in the cloud, for it to look as if you have built a new one, but everything will be intact. It's just virtual there. Are you saying that the IT team cannot clone a server and carry out a migration and then use the clone one as a backup just in case you lose anything in the process? Is she still saying that if the IT team doesn't even know the basics, that before you carry out migration, first of all, you need to check the size of the data, okay? And then you write it down. And then after migration, you compare the size of the original data and what you currently have and see if they match. If they don't match, then you go into folder by folder and be able to tell which folder has what and which folder doesn't have what. Are you saying that your IT team cannot do this basic forensics to be able to establish the data migration process? So you see, she's not coming out too clear. If you're not an IT person, you might be swayed into thinking that what she's saying makes sense. But in the world of IT, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, it just doesn't make sense. It's just total lies. That is what it's all about. So if Madam Jane Mensah can get her IT whatever team to answer these basic questions, then we can then tell where the challenge is coming from. But right now, everything she's talked about has to do with incompetence of the IT team. That's what it's all about.
So you are questioning even her IT team and perhaps the experts that they may have engaged. You think there's some level of incompetence being shown if that's the reason they are giving her?
Let me be brutally honest. It's just pathetic. It's just pathetic. In today's world, you are doing data migration and you have concerns. You can't do data migration. People carry data all the way from London to the United States, all parts of the world, in seconds. In seconds. What is so special about this that we can't do this basic data migration? And data migration, Senna, it's just a process. Okay, it's just a process. So, for example, if you want to do, let's say you have 10 terabytes of data sitting in Radio Gold, and maybe you want to transfer it to, let's say, Ahonto FM, right? All that you first of all need to do is to ensure that you have a trusted link network that this can do a smooth transfer to it, and that's about it. And any IT person knows that I have to do a backup. So the first thing is that you do your backup and put it on standby, just in case anything goes wrong, and then you have your backup. These are basic principles that you need to understand. So don't use migration and the loss of its potential of losing of data as the reason to change a whole new voters register. It's palpable false. It doesn't make sense. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It doesn't make sense. The excuse just doesn't hold. And this issue about fingerprints, Senna, it's two things. It can, when you say that it was poorly done, you are either trying to say that the system did not capture at all, because the system will do just two things. It will either capture you or will not capture you. It is not a fault of a human being. Once it's been okayed, it's been okayed. Okay, but there are several reasons why today your bio could be captured. Tomorrow you go there and you will not be able to capture it. Will not be able to be captured. Not primarily because the system did not capture in the first place, but maybe your own endeavors, whatever that you've done to your body could be the reason why the system will not be able to recognize or authenticate you. And that is the reason why, there's always room for the manual system. So Madam Jane Mensah standing on this point, saying that it was poorly done, is either she's trying to say that it was a human error. No, and a big no. She brings in a new infrastructure, it will happen again. It will happen again.
So even if a new system is brought in, there will still be the difficulties she's talking about.
Exactly. You see, Senna, let's go a little bit into it. You'd realize that Madam Jane Mensah has put herself in a certain box that if care is not taken, the country will be in turmoil. She has demonized every process that she came to meet. That's what she's done. She has demonized every process that she came to meet. And you want to ask yourself, Senna, what's the difference? What's new? What is the difference between what she came to meet and what she's bringing? Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. She's not bringing in any new thing that would say that this is more credible than what we came to meet. Okay? You're talking of NIA card as what? An advanced version of a birth certificate. You've already demonized the birth certificate system, saying that anybody can have it. At the same time, NIA is depending on birth certificates as a requirement for it to have it. Is that not the case? So if the basic is flawed, how then do you use it as a strength in saying that you are bringing in something new? The same vein, NIA card, anyone can also fictitiously acquire one, right? Fake one. Now that it's clear that you cannot authenticate the card that you have. So if I have a fake birth certificate, I'm able to acquire a fake NIA card and I present to you, you'll still give me an a voter's register card. True or false? So what's the difference? Aren't you even doing worse than what you came to meet? And it's so bizarre that, Senna, all this talk about, credibility, you delve into it and you realize that apparently she doesn't even have a clue, or she doesn't even understand how the system works. How would you accept an NIA card without knowing its source, without you not authenticating it to say that this is a true card and you are the person that is on this card? How? Because you use the same analogy saying that anybody can acquire a birth certificate and present it. If I am 15 years old and I present an NIA card to you right now, how would you be able to tell? How would you be able to tell? How would the EC infrastructure be able to tell that, oh, you are underage? Because you've used all this. That's the reason I said he has demonized every process that she came to meet. And so right now she's put herself in a box that when you delve into it, you realize that this person is not being sincere. She's doing the same thing that the old system has been doing. And even the old system right now appears to be more credible than the new system. Okay, you talk of manual verification. Senna, manual verification is not evil. It's done everywhere because the system can fail you at any point in time. Okay, the manual system serves as a point of what we all call common sense in IT. If the system is not working, go around it and make sure that it serves the same purpose. Okay, 92 manual system, 96 manual, 2000 manual, 2004 manual, 2008 manual. When did manual system verification become evil? When? That today, because at any point in time the system could go down, you are saying that means it makes it not credible. Can Madam Jane Mensah promise Ghanaians 100% sure that there shall be no manual verification in this upcoming election? Can she assure that 100% that the infrastructure that she's going to put in place, there shall be no manual verification whatsoever? Can she assure that? Everything that she's talked about is conjecturing. If we are not talking about if, we are dealing with reality. Okay, so she should stop using the IT system that she doesn't understand as the basis, because it will rather put the country in a very bad state. Because whatever she came to me that she is demonizing, it will happen. Everything will happen again. Okay, and she's not bringing in anything new. It's the same thing.
Okay.